I don't know if you've been to productions, plays, musicals, that kind of thing, and do you observe what happens not only on stage with the actors, but behind the scenes? I find it fascinating to see how even a high school production can be so professionally done. My daughter goes to St. Thomas More High School in Milwaukee, Catholic school. Her mother's Catholic, by the way, so she's half Catholic on her mother's side. But we went to one of their plays last year before she enrolled at St. Thomas More, and we were struck by just how great these kids were. The acting was wonderful. But not only that, between scenes, the stage crew, all wearing black, just efficiently moved all the equipment, all the scenes, all the sets to the new thing and left. They knew exactly what they were doing, and it was as if they were, magically appeared because you couldn't see them dressed in black. And the sound, they had a band pit below them. They had lights. The sound was wonderful. And I thought, everything just works so well. The person building the set, the person making the props, the person designing and making the costumes, if necessary, the people that are moving the sets back and forth, the people running the lights, the sound, the band, and the director, the actors and actresses. They're all working together as a team, and they're making this thing happen. And it's really great to watch. They all have a part to play in this. And no part is any better than another because it all fits. So you're not an actor, but you work on stage crew. And that's just as important. Looking at the story today, we have the angels, the heavenly hosts. And what can be higher than that, right? They get word, they receive word, they come down to earth, and who do they encounter but the lowliest of the low? The shepherds who had really no status whatsoever. They were slightly above children and slightly above women in that society. So the angels came to the shepherds and told them the story. And then the heavenly host came and sang and declared the glory of God who's come to earth in this child. And this is how you're going to know this child. This is the clue. And after the shepherds got over their fear, it's pretty scary stuff. Once it was in their hearts, they had to. They were impelled to go see what was going on. Not every day you have an angel coming to you and say, you know what, go, follow and find this child and tell them what we told you. Witness the Christ, the birth of the Christ. You're going to be the first on the scene. And of course the shepherds went. And you can imagine the scene is much like this, with all the poinsettias around it, and they sang in German, Silent Night, and all those things that we do. So we're following exactly what they did back then. I'm just kidding. No, don't record that. I'm just kidding. But I imagine they came to the scene, after traveling and leaving their flocks with their hired hands so that they could make the journey. They saw the Christ child. They told them, Mary and Joseph, this is what the angels told us. And I imagine Mary and Joseph were shocked, for one thing. Who would know about this, Of course, Mary has had an insight with an angel before, and Joseph has too, so nothing really new. But the simplicity of all this, there's no distraction. There's no busyness in life that distracts them from their journey. There's no things that are going to throw them off when they see this child. It probably is silent, except, the baby may be crying, and there might be moo and bah, from the animals. But other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just down to earth, hummus stuff. But we find that, God has a way of using and employing, not so much, but all of us, the angels, the shepherds, Mary and Joseph, to witness the birth of this child, this God poured into this baby to give hope to the world. And we know that the shepherds go back and their lives are changed forever. Sure, they're tending their flocks. The angels have gone back home to heaven. The shepherds are back tending their flocks, but still, their lives are changed forever. They witnessed something wonderful. For us coming here our lives are just one distraction after another. And sometimes this sacred place is set up so that we can kind of calm and be still. And I take extra time between prayers, let us confess or whatever, and have silence, because I'm sure we don't get a lot of that during the day. And so to be more distraction-free so that we can focus on this event. As the shepherds and Mary and Joseph focused strictly on the event because there was nothing to distract them. They needed that, For us, we need it too. Our time here to celebrate the birth of the child is something we desperately need in our day of rush, 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 busy, busy, busy. And it's just as simple as a child in a manger, or feeding the world with his love, with his mercy, with his joy. When babies are born, we're excited about it because there's hope. It's just, life will continue on. There'll be something more and hopefully better for that child growing up. And, especially the newborn Christ is not only for Mary and Joseph, but for the shepherds, for the town, for the angels, for the people that he influenced in his life, and for us, 2,000 plus years later, that still remember and consider and ponder and wonder and celebrate this new life, this new hope in a world that, we desperately need. And then we go back to our jobs. Maybe we take the week off between Christmas and New Year's. We go back to work, hopefully changed just a bit, so that we can witness the story, and however we do that, in our own way, the Christ, the joy that comes with it, the hope that comes with it, so that we can live our lives and make the world just a little bit better around us, as Christ has made the world a better place for us as well. God poured into the child. God poured into the Spirit. The Spirit poured into Jesus. The Spirit poured into us, as Jesus promised, so that we are the witnesses to the event, without distraction. Single focus, because that's the way God is much of the time. Amen.